Hello, thank you for joining me here today at Why the Book Wins. My name is Laura, and today is another John Steinbeck video. So last week I posted a tier ranking of John Steinbeck's books and picked which one is my favorite. And then today I'm going to be sharing pictures and videos from when I went to the Steinbeck House, which is now a restaurant, as well as the National Steinbeck Museum. And then we also went to Monterey, which, you know, a lot of Steinbeck's books, they take place in Monterey County, Salinas, King City. And Cannery Row is one of his books, and that takes place like on Cannery Row in Monterey. And so yeah, it was just so cool to go to Steinbeck country and these places where his books take place and where he himself was born and raised and he lived as an adult. He also lived on the East Coast during part of his life, but basically like all of his books take place, at least in part, in California and specifically in, you know, Monterey County area, because that is where he lived a lot of his life. And so I will link to that tier ranking video if you have not yet seen it. But yeah, let's just get right into the tour. And I'm going to begin with the Steinbeck house, which, like I said, this is where he was born and raised. And also I did this with my mom. She lives in Monterey County and she is a huge Steinbeck fan as well. She was on my episode for The Red Pony. And so it's just been really fun to share this with her, our love of John Steinbeck. So she came with me to all of these spots. And so yeah, you'll be seeing her in the pictures as well. So to kick things off, I forgot to mention we also went to Steinbeck's grave, which is in Salinas. It's like a 10-minute drive from his house. So this is the Hamilton grave plot. And Steinbeck, he was cremated. I think all of these people were cremated, and that's why their graves are so close together. You know, Hamilton is the maiden name of his mom, but this is John Steinbeck's grave in particular. And obviously, as you can see, a lot of fans come by and place pens and pencils and coins. There was a hotel room card there too, I guess, to show people that travel from far to visit this. And this is me and my mom wearing our Steinbeck shirts, which you can kind of see. Here's a better view of the Steinbeck shirt. And this is Steinbeck Ave at the graveyard, as you can see. And then this is the Steinbeck house. So this is like from the side because they have a gift shop, as you can see down there. And yeah, this is the home he was born and raised in. Yeah, they are only open for lunch, so they're open from like 11:30 to 2, so very specific hours. But yeah, so glad we went. And that's the two of us with our dessert that we had after our lunch. And then this is the entryway. And then this is down in the gift shop. And someone made this model dollhouse of the Steinbeck house. So it is an exact replica, which was so cool. And he opened it up for us. So these are some pictures from the inside of that dollhouse. And then to move on to the Steinbeck Museum, which I just want to say real quick, I doubt anyone from the Steinbeck Museum is actually watching this, but I was very disappointed with their merchandise there. Like, I was excited to go to the Steinbeck Museum. I flew into California from out of state, and then I drove down to Salinas. And so I was so excited, and I was definitely excited to buy different memorabilia, but I was pretty disappointed with their gift shop, specifically in the Steinbeck Museum. So as you saw, you know, I did get that Steinbeck shirt from them, and that was the best they had, but even that I was kind of disappointed by. So if anyone involved in the Steinbeck Museum is watching this, I definitely think it's worth investing in like better shirts. And also I didn't see any mugs that really caught my eye. And so I wanted to buy more, but I just didn't find much that I even wanted. So that was kind of disappointing. Aside from the gift shop though, the museum was really cool. So let's get into that. We did this on 2 different days, by the way. That's why I'm wearing something different in these pictures. And they do have a lot of East of Eden related things because East of Eden takes place in, you know, Salinas, King City, Monterey. And so it is very much focused on that area. And it's part of Steinbeck's own family history. So it makes sense they had so much East of Eden stuff. And The Chrysanthemums is a short story from the Long Valley. It might be one of his, aside from The Red Pony, that might be his most famous short story from that collection. And it is a really good one. I love all of the stories in Long Valley. They're also good. And then The Red Pony, which I loved, and my mom and I did a book versus movie for this, like I said, so it was pretty cool seeing that with her. And of course, The Grapes of Wrath is one of Steinbeck's most famous works, which is about the Great Depression. And this article is interesting because it's about people who disagreed with the grapes of wrath. And so you have this article being like, the grapes of gladness, trying to be like, you know, it's not as bad as Steinbeck said. And then here we get into pictures that are like more from Cannery Row. So in Cannery Row, a main character is Doc. I forget if he has a last name, but he's based on Ed Ricketts, who John Steinbeck was friends with. And I have a picture here, so that's Ed Ricketts and John Steinbeck. But yeah, so he worked in Western Biological, which is what it's called in the Cannery Row, but it's based on a real location, which I will show later pictures of. But yeah, so this is like the Cannery Row section. Lee Chong, his grocery store, is part of the book Cannery Row. The Pearl, again, definitely one of his famous shorter stories. And then he won the Nobel Prize in '68, so that is a picture here from that, their little Nobel Prize section. Travels with Charlie is one I really want to read. I just keep putting it off. But yeah, they had this cool map from that story. True story, where he just shares about his travels through America. And this is from their gift shop. They just had this section where it is a compilation of all of his books that I just thought was so cool and I would love. I have a few first editions of his, but I would love to just own all first editions and have my own shelf like this. That'd be so cool. Oh, and then this mural is across the street from the Steinbeck Museum. So obviously that's John Steinbeck right there. And yeah, just a really cool mural. I should have got a picture of me standing in front of it so you could see how big it is, because this picture, it's hard to tell how big it is, but it's a huge mural. And yeah, that wraps it up from the museum. So now let's move on to Monterey, Cannery Row. I don't have too many pictures from here. I do have one video just kind of showing the ocean. But so this is, you know, Pacific Biological Laboratories, which is called Western Biological in Cannery Row. And then he also has a short story in the Long Valley that also takes place here. So this is a frequent spot he writes about because, as I said, he was friends with Ed Ricketts, which I do have a YouTube short where you can't go inside of this. They only do tours on like very specific days, but you can walk down past into the alley and they have these little plaques talking about Ed Ricketts. So if you have not watched that YouTube short, go check it out. And yeah, Cannery Row Company. And this is just some sea lions and things. So very beautiful there. I absolutely loved it. I definitely want to go back. I'd been here before, but it had been, I don't know, since like 2015 was the last time I went, I think. So it was really cool going back. And yeah, that wraps it up for my Steinbeck tour. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have been to Steinbeck country and seen these spots as well, comment down below what your experience was like. So I definitely loved it. And specifically like when I was walking around Monterey in different areas in Pacific Grove where he had lived, and you can actually you can stay at John Steinbeck's house in Pacific Grove on Airbnb. It's a 30-night stay minimum, but I wish I would have known that. I don't know if we would have done it, but maybe in the future. But yeah, it was really cool just like being there on Cannery Row, walking around Monterey. And that's the same place Steinbeck went. And like walking the streets of Salinas and being like, wow, and this is where he grew up. And so many events from East of Eden are talked about happen in Salinas. It just really was so cool. I would definitely want to go back. I mean, specifically Monterey because it was so beautiful. But yeah, if you're a Steinbeck fan, the museum is definitely worth going to. The Steinbeck house, that was awesome as well. Just all of the history, you know? So yeah, anyway, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And again, here is the link to my tier ranking video. If you have not watched it, you definitely should. And I will see you next time. Bye.